tako rano bilo metar.
Idemo rano. Ja se potrebno da na koji minuti.
Znaš što je danas rođena, pa ko ti nisi probudila, da završim.
Što je kasno uvijek.
To što je prijateljica u povrću.
A to je ono. Okay, girls, you can sit anywhere. Okay, let's start with one Hail Mary. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen. Queen of Peace, pray for us. Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Warm greeting to all of you in the first place. I'll try to explain the best possible way everything that has been happening in Medjugorje. Is there anybody among you here for the first time? So we have to go 35 years back. Those who have already heard this, I'm kindly asking for patience. But put yourself in my position, how many times I repeated this in So June the 24th, 1981. The feast of St. John the Baptist, so nobody worked in the village. Ivanka and I, like two girls who were 15 years old, wanted to be alone for a while. We went outside of the village and we wanted to to take a walk along the foot of what we call the Apparition Hill today. We talked about normal things. Things that girls of that age could speak about. At that time we didn't have houses around. So once we got tired, we sat at the base of the hill. And in one moment, Ivanka told me just like this, I think Our Lady is on the hill. I did not look. Because for me, that was impossible. Because we grew up in Yugoslavia in communism, and we didn't have freedom of faith. We were allowed to go to Sunday Mass, but that was it. The rest of our religious life was within our families. Our parents taught us to pray, so we prayed rosary every evening, but they did not speak a lot about faith to us. Because they were afraid of that we as children could speak about that in school. And as a consequence of that, they could lose their job or their home. Because in communism, we practically possessed nothing. And until that moment, I never heard about Lourdes or about Fatima. I thought Our Lady is in heaven, and we prayed to her. But the fact that she could come on earth, I didn't know. So when Ivanka told me that she thinks that Our Lady is on the hill, I replied in a little rude way to her. I said, yeah, she has nothing else to do, she would come to two of us. So I left her standing there, and I intended to go back to the village. But as I was reaching the first houses, within myself I felt such intense call. The call was so strong that I simply had to go back. Coming back, I saw Ivanka on the same spot. That's when she told me, look now, please.
Ja sam vidjela jednu ženu u dugoj sivoj haljini kako drži dijete u naručju usred brda.
And in the middle of the hill I was able to see a young woman who was holding infant baby in her arms.
Sve je bilo jako čudno.
Everything was very strange.
Jer na brdu nije niko išao.
Because nobody climbed the hill.
Nije bilo putića kao sada koji su napravili hodočasnici svojim nogama.
There was no this path that we have today, path that was made by pilgrims' feet.
I da neko ide u dugoj haljini s bebom u naručju, to je bilo nemoguće.
And now to see someone in such a long dress with infant baby in the arms, it was impossible.
Ja sam u tom momentu osjetila sve emocije koje postoje zajedno.
In that very moment I felt all possible emotions that exist at the same time.
I strah, i ljepotu, nerazumijevanje.
Fear, beauty, misunderstanding.
I u meni je pobjedilo da bježim.
And what prevailed within me was simply to run away.
I ja sam pobjegla kući.
And I ran away back home.
I kad sam došla kući, zatekla sam baku.
So when I came home, I found my grandmother.
I rekla sam joj odmah da ja mislim da sam vidjela Gospu.
And I said to her that I think that I saw Our Lady.
Ona mi je rekla, ti uzmi krunicu, idi u svoju sobu, moli Boga, pusti Gospu gdje je na nebu.
She said to me, you better take the rosary, go to your room and pray to dear God and let Our Lady be where she is in heaven.
Ja sam nisam imala snage raspravljati sa njom.
I didn't have strength to debate with her.
Ja sam htjela biti sama u molitvi.
Because I wanted to be alone in prayer.
Jer sam samo tako imala mir.
Because only that way I was able to have peace.
Tu sam čitavu noć provela u molitvi pokušavajući shvatiti što mi se dešava.
The entire night I spent in prayer trying to comprehend what was happening with me.
Sutradan sam pomagala svojim ujacima kao svaki drugi dan.
The next day, like every other day before, I helped my uncles.
I nisam imala priliku da vidim ostale vidioce.
And I didn't have chance to see other visionaries.
Kad je bilo vrijeme kad sam vidjela Gospu dan prije,
But around the time when I saw Our Lady the day before,
ja sam ponovo osjetila onaj poziv u sebi.
I felt the same call within myself.
I ja sam rekla svojim ujacima da ja moram ići ispod vrta.
And I said to my uncles that I had to go to the base of the hill.
Oni su pošli sa mnom da vide šta se dešava.
They came along with me to see what was happening.
Kad smo došli ispod brda, skoro pola ovoga sela Podbrda je bilo ispod brda.
Reaching the base of the hill, practically half of this village of Podbrda was there.
Jer sa svakim od vidioca je neko pošao.
Because with every visionary, somebody came along.
Mi smo vidjeli Gospu na istom mjestu.
And then we saw Our Lady on the same spot.
Samo što ovaj put nije imala dijete u naručju.
But this time she didn't have baby in her arms.
I taj dan, 25.6.81. godine, je bio prvi put da smo došli k njoj.
So that second day, June the 25th, 1981, was in fact the first time when we approached her.
Ona nam se predstavila.
She presented herself to us.
Ona je rekla, djeco moja, ne bojte se, ja sam kraljica mira.
She said, my children, do not be afraid, I am the Queen of Peace.
I tako su počela naša svakodnevna ukazanja.
And that is how our daily apparition started.
Kratko vrijeme smo imali ukazanja na brdu.
For a very short period of time, we had those apparitions on hill.
Jer, kao što sam rekla, to je bilo vrijeme komunizma.
As I already told you, that was time of communism.
Odmah za nekoliko dana je došla policija sa psima i opkolila brdo.
Practically within a few days, the police came with dogs and they occupied hills.
Ko bi išao na brdo, išao bi u zatvor.
And whoever tried to climb that hill would end up in prison.
Ali tih prvih dana Gospa je pokazala nekoliko čuda.
But those first days, Our Lady presented a few miracles.
Tako da su skoro svi u selu nešto vidjeli.
So that almost everybody in the village was able to see something.
Na primjer, odmah su bila dva čudesna ozdravljenja.
For example, immediately two miraculous physical healings took place.
Onda je nestajao križ na križancu i pojavljivala se Gospa odjevena u bijelo.
Then cross on Cross Hill disappeared and Our Lady dressed in white appeared.
To su vidjeli mještani.
Villagers were able to see that.
Onda je pisalo na nebu mir.
Then the word mir, which means peace in Croatian, was written in the middle of the sky.
I ja se sjećam da je u to vrijeme bio fra Jozo Zovko župnik.
And I remember that Father Jozo was parish priest at that time.
I kad je došla policija k njemu da mu kaže da mora zaključiti crkvu jer su mise zabranjene.
And when the police came to tell him that he should lock the church because masses are forbidden,
on je rekao, ja sam sa svojim očima vidio od križeca do crkve kako piše na nebu mir.
he said, with my own very eyes I was able to see in the sky between Cross Hill and church in the huge word mir written.
Ja ne mogu crkvu zatvoriti.
I cannot lock the church.
A sa mnom možete šta hoćete.
And you can do with me whatever you want to do.
I poslije 2,5 godine bio u zatvoru.
And after that he was sentenced for 2 years and a half in prison.
Ali mještani videći to sve.
But villagers, seeing all of this,
I poznavajući nas kao djecu,
and knowing us as children,
oni su nam povjerovali i pomagali.
they believed us and they helped us.
Mi smo imali ukazanje svako večer na drugom mjestu.
So because of that we had apparition every night on different spot.
Tako da se nikad prije ne zna gdje smo.
So no one would never know ahead of time where we would end up that night.
Ja sam imala tako ukazanja do Božića 82. godine.
Such daily apparitions I had until Christmas of 1982.
Tad sam dobila 10. tajnu i Gospa mi je rekla da ja više neću imati svakodnevno ukazanje.
That was the day when I received the 10th secret, and Our Lady said that I would not have her daily apparitions anymore.
Rekla je da će to biti jedanput godišnje, 18.3. dok sam živa.
She said that it will be only once a year on every March the 18th as long as I live.
A isto tako je rekla da će biti i izvanredna ukazanja.
But she also said that I would have some extraordinary apparitions.
I ta su počela 2. augusta 87. godine.
And those apparitions started on August the 2nd, 1987.
I traju i dan danas, ali ja ne znam dokad ću ih imati.
They still have been lasting, and I do not know until when will I have them.
Ta su ukazanja i molitva za nevjernike.
Those apparitions are also prayer for unbelievers.
Ali ona nikad ne kaže nevjernici.
But she never says unbelievers.
Jer ti kad kažeš za nekoga da je nevjernik,
Because when you say for someone that he or she is unbeliever,
ti si ga osudio, dao si svoj sud.
you already judged that person. You gave your own judgment.
A Gospa nikad ne sudi.
But Our Lady never judges.
Ona kaže, oni koji još nisu osjetili ljubav Božju.
Referring to them, she says, those who have not come to know the love of God yet.
I ona traži našu pomoć.
So Our Lady is asking our help.
Kad ona kaže našu, ona ne misli samo na nas 6 vidioca.
But when she says our help, she doesn't mean only 6 visionaries.
Ona misli na pomoć svi onih koji osjećaju nju kao svoju majku.
But help of all those who feel her as mother.
Jer ona kaže da mi možemo promijeniti nevjernike.
Because she says that we are capable to change unbelievers.
Ali samo s našom molitvom i samo s našim primjerom.
But only with our prayers and our own example.
Ona traži da u svoje svakodnevne molitve stavimo na prvo mjesto molitve za nevjernike.
Our Lady asks from us to put in our daily prayers in the first place, the prayers for unbelievers.
Jer kaže da većina ružnih stvari koje se dešavaju u svijetu, kao ratovi, droga, abortus, dolaze od nevjernika.
Because Our Lady has been emphasizing that most of the bad things in the world, like war, crime, abortion, divorces, crime, are coming from
I
unbelievers.
zato ona kaže, kad vi molite za njih, vi molite za vas i za vašu budućnost.
That is the reason why Our Lady says, when you pray for them, in fact, you pray for yourselves and for your own future.
Osim molitve, ona traži naš primjer.
Beside prayer, Our Lady is asking our example.
Ona ne traži od nas pridike.
She doesn't ask from us to preach.
Ona traži da mi našim životom pričamo.
She would like from us to talk with our own life.
Da nevjernici vide u nama Boga i ljubav Božju.
So that unbelievers can see God and God's love through ourselves.
Ja bih vas zamolila da to shvatite najozbiljnije.
Mirina says, I would kindly ask of you to accept this in the most serious way.
Jer kad biste samo jednom vidjeli suze koje ona ima u svojim očima radi nevjernika, ja sam sigurna da biste molili sa svim srcem.
Because if you were able just once to see the tears on Our Lady's face because of unbelievers, I'm sure that you would pray from the bottom of your
Jer
heart.
ona kaže da je ovo vrijeme odluka.
Because Our Lady says, this is the time of decisions.
I kaže da je na nama koji kažemo da smo djeca Božja.
And she says that we who claim to be the children of God,
Na nama je velika odgovornost.
we have great responsibility.
Kad Gospod traži molitvu za nevjernike,
When Our Lady asks a prayer for unbelievers from us,
ona traži da pokušamo na njezin način.
she would like from us to do it in her way.
A ja sam to ovako shvatila.
And this is the way I personally comprehended that.
Da prvo osjetimo ljubav za njih.
First, to feel love for them.
Da ih osjetimo kao našu braću i sestre koji nisu bili sretni kao mi da upoznaju ljubav Božju.
To feel them as our own brothers and sisters who were not lucky enough as we were to come to know the love of God.
I kad to osjetimo da možemo moliti za njih.
And once we feel like that, to be able to pray for them.
Nikad ne suditi, ne kritizirati.
We should never judge or criticize.
Jednostavno voliti ih, moliti za njih i dati svoj primjer.
We should simply love them, pray for them, and offer them our own example.
Naš primjer mnogo govori.
Because our example tells a lot.
Jer svako od nas ima nevjernika.
Because every one of us has an unbeliever.
Ili u kući, ili blizu kuće, ili na poslu.
Whether it's in our family, in our neighborhood, in our working place.
I taj nevjernik gleda nas i naš život.
And that one is looking at us and our own life.
I mi se trebamo pitati da li vidi u nama Boga i ljubav
And we
Božju.
have to ask ourselves, can he see God and God's love through us?
Jer mi ćemo zato odgovarati Bogu.
Because we will answer to God for this.
Ja uvijek dam jedan simpatičan primjer.
I always share with pilgrims a cute example.
Kad sam jedno večer došla na misu ovdje u Medjugorje,
One evening when I came to the evening mass here in Medjugorje,
kako je naša crkva uvijek puna,
as our church is always packed,
ali ja ne mogu stajati.
but I have a problem, I cannot stand long.
I ja sam vidjela malo mjesto u jednoj klupi i sjela sam.
So a little bit of space in one bench and I sat down.
Tu su već sjedili hodočasnici iz Italije.
But they were pilgrims from Italy
A vi
already.
znate kako su temperamentni.
And you know the temperament of Italian pilgrims?
I svi su se počeli derati na mene.
So they all started shouting at me.
Ustani se, to je naša klupa, mi smo došli prije.
Stand up, that's our bench. We were the first to come.
Ja sam se ustala i šutila.
I stood up and kept quiet.
Onda je došla jedna gospođa koja je bila dio te grupe.
Then one woman who was a member of that group came.
I ona je rekla da sam ja jedna od 6 vidioca.
And then she told them that I was one of 6 visionaries.
Onda su mi dali čitavu klupu.
Well, after that they gave me the whole bench.
Ali što vam to govori?
But why am I saying this to you?
Šta mislite da sam ja bila jedna nevjernica koju je Gospa pozvala ovdje u Medjugorje?
Imagine if I were an unbeliever who was invited by Our Lady to come here to Medjugorje.
I prvi put ulazim u crkvu.
And I was, for example, for the first time entering into church.
A unutra su oni koji kažu da poznaju ljubav Božju.
And inside were those who claim to know the love of God.
A mene čekaju na taj način.
And they welcome me in such a way.
Da li bih ja više ikad ušla u crkvu?
Would I ever enter into church?
I čija bi to bila odgovornost?
And whose responsibility would that be?
To je ono što Gospa želi reći.
Well, this is what Our Lady desires to say.
Nije, svako od nas može naučiti lijepo govoriti.
Because every one of us can learn to speak in a nice manner.
Ja i vi.
Both you and me.
Ali nije to što ona želi.
But this is not what she wants.
Ona želi dijela.
She wants our deeds.
Da se u našim dijelima vidi Bog i ljubav Božja.
So that in our deeds or works can be seen God and God's love.
U ovim ukazanjima u Medjugorju njena najvažnija poruka koju često ponavlja je sveta misa.
Her most important message here in Medjugorje that she often repeats is the Holy Mass.
Ali ne samo nedjelju.
But not only on Sunday.
Kad smo mi bili djeca na početku ukazanja, ona nam je rekla:
When we were still children at the beginning of the apparitions, Our Lady said to us,
ako trebate da birate između viđenja mene i svete mise, uvijek izaberite svetu misu.
if you have to choose between attending the Holy Mass or seeing the apparition, you must choose to attend the Holy Mass.
Jer za vrijeme svete mise moj sin je s vama.
Because during the Holy Mass, my son is with you.
U svim ovim godinama ukazanja, ona nikad nije rekla molite, ja ću vam dati.
In all these years of the apparitions, Our Lady never said, pray and I will give you.
Ona uvijek kaže molite da mogu moliti svoga sina za vas.
She always says, pray so that I can pray to my son for you.
Uvijek je Isus na prvom mjestu.
So Jesus is always in the first place.
Mnogi hodočasnici kad dođu u Medjugorje misle da su mi vidioci privilegirani.
Many pilgrims, when they come to Medjugorje, believe that we visionaries are privileged.
Da je dosta reći nama jer nas Bog sluša više nego ostali.
That it's enough to say something to us because God would hear us better than others.
A takvo razmišljanje je pogrešno razmišljanje.
But that way of thinking is wrong.
Jer za Gospu kao za majku nema privilegovanih.
Because for Our Lady as Mother, there are no privileged ones.
Mi smo svi samo njena djeca koje ona bira za različite misije.
Because we all are just her children that she has been choosing for different missions.
Nas 6 da preko nas da poruke.
She chose 6 of us in order to give messages.
Ali je zabrala svi u vas.
But she chose every one of you.
Jer to je i rekla u poruci od 1. januara gdje se baš obraća vama.
Because that is what she said in one of her messages of January, the words in which she was addressing directly you.
Jer ona je rekla, draga djeco, ja sam vas pozvala.
She said, dear children, I invited you.
Otvorite svoje srce, pustite me da uđem.
Open your heart, allow me to enter.
Da mogu napraviti svoj apostol od vas.
To be able to make you become my apostles.
Znači, svi imamo istu važnost za našu majku.
So we all have the same importance for our mother.
Nema onih koji nas sluša više i koji sluša manje.
There are no those that she would listen more or less.
Ja sam to naučila na samom početku ukazanja.
I personally learned that at the very beginning of the apparitions.
Jer, kao što ste, ja sam jedina od nas 6 vidioca koja nije rođena i odrasla u Medjugorju.
Because I'm the only one out of 6 visionaries who was not born here in Medjugorje and I did not grow up here.
Jer moji roditelji su odavde oba dvoje.
But both of my parents were from here.
Ali kad su se vjenčali, oni su otišli živjeti u Sarajevo.
But after they got married, they went to Sarajevo to live.
Ja sam se rodila i odrasla s njima.
So I was born and I was raised with them.
A ovdje sam dolazila svaki raspust jer mi je sva rodbina bila ovdje.
And I was coming here for every vacation because the rest of my family was here.
I kad su počela ukazanja kako su komunisti htjeli sve zaustaviti,
And when apparition started and as communists wanted to stop all of this,
mene su na silu vratili u Sarajevo.
by force they brought me back to Sarajevo.
Ja nisam htjela jer sam mislila da neću imati ukazanja.
I didn't want to go because I thought I will not have apparitions anymore.
Ali me niko nije pitao.
But nobody asked me.
Ovdje je situacija bila mnogo drugačija.
Here situation was quite different.
Jer ovdje gdje ste vi sada su svi 100% Hrvati.
Because in this area where you are, in this region, we have 100% Croatians.
A Hrvati su katolici.
And Croatians are Catholics.
Tako da su i policajci bili Hrvati.
So that even policemen were Croatians.
Oni su, kad su nas odvodili, nas 6,
But they would take us, 6 of us here.
Oni su malo psovali, galamili, derali se.
They would curse a little, they would shout, yeah, that's it.
Ali ništa strašno.
but not a big deal.
Ako to nije strašno.
If that is not.
Ali u Sarajevu je bila mnogo drugačija situacija.
But in Sarajevo, situation was quite different.
Jer u Sarajevu su bili muslimani i pravi komunisti.
Because in Sarajevo we had Muslims and true communists.
I oni su dolazili svaki dan u moju kuću.
And they came to our home every single day.
Mene su odvodili sa sobom, ja sam imala samo 15 godina.
And they used to take me away with them, and remember I was only 15 years old.
I niko ti ne može pomoći.
And there was no one who could help you.
Nema to ko u Americi odvjetnika, socijalnog radnika.
It was not like in America when you say, I want my social worker, I want my lawyer.
Tu ni roditelji ne mogu ići s tobom.
Even your parents were not allowed to go with you.
Ja sam bivala sama s njima.
And I was alone with them.
I bilo je užasno.
And it was terrible.
I ja sam mislila, meni će Gospa pomoći.
And I thought, Our Lady will help me.
Međutim, kad sam imala ukazanje,
But when I would have an apparition,
ona mi je govorila normalne stvari kao i njima ovdje.
she would tell me normal things as she would say to them here.
A ništa o meni i o mojoj situaciji.
Nothing about me and my situation.
I ne moram vam reći kako sam se osjećala sama.
I do not even have to tell you how lonely I felt.
Ali uz molitvu i uz post ja sam shvatila.
But with prayer and fasting I comprehended.
Za Gospu, za Boga nema privilegovanih.
For Our Lady, for God, there are no privileged ones.
Uzmi, ako ti je teško, ako imaš križ, uzmi krunicu i moli, Bog te neće ostaviti sam.
If you're going through a hard time and have a cross, take the rosary and pray and God will never leave you alone.
Kad sam to shvatila u svom srcu, sve što je dolazilo, mnogo sam snažnije podnosila.
When I accepted that in my heart, everything else that was about to come, I was able to endure much easier.
Isto tako ovdje u Medjugorju mnogo puta mi dođu reći ja sam ozdravio ili ja sam upoznao ljubav Božju.
The same way here in Medjugorje, some individuals come to me to say I was healed in Medjugorje or I came to know the love of God.
A ja nisam te ljude poznavala.
And I did not even know those people.
Znači da ja nisam za njih pitala.
It means that I did not ask for them.
Oni su pitali majku za pomoć.
But they themselves asked mother for help.
A ona svoga sina za njih.
And then she interceded with her son for them.
Ja vam to govorim da bih vam rekla.
I'm saying all of this to you in order to explain.
Kad trebate majku,
When you need mother,
ne trebate vidioca.
you do not need visionaries.
Vi trebate samo otvoreno srce.
You just need an open heart.
Jer ona uvijek kaže, otvorite svoje srce i ja ću biti s vama.
Because she always says, you open your heart and I will be with you.
Znači, zavisi samo od nas koliko želimo da majka bude s nama.
So it all just depends on us how much we want our mother to be with us.
Ne treba vama niko da bude posrednik između vas i vaše majke.
You don't need anybody to be an intercessor between you and your mother.
Samo otvoreno srce.
Only an open heart.
A ako je iko privilegiran za nju,
But if anybody is privileged for her,
kako sam ja razumjela gledajući ove poruke svakog drugog mjeseca,
at least the way I understood that, referring to these messages on every second of the month,
onda su za nju privilegirani naši svećenici.
then for her, those who are privileged are our priests.
Kako ona kaže, vaši pastiri.
Or as she says, your shepherds.
Jer ona uvijek kaže, oni ne trebaju vašega suda i kritike.
Because she always says, they don't need you to judge or criticize them.
Oni trebaju vaše molitve i ljubavi.
They need your prayers and your love.
Jer Bog će suditi njih kakvi su bili kao svećenici.
Because God will judge them the way they were as priests.
Ali će suditi vas kakav je bio vaš odnos prema svećenicima.
But God will judge you the way you treated your priests.
Ona kaže, ako izgubite poštovanje prema svećenicima,
And Our Lady says, if you lose respect for your priest,
izgubit ćete prema crkvi i na kraju prema dragom Bogu.
then you will lose respect for church and at the end for dear God as well.
Isto tako za vrijeme ukazanja kad nam daje blagoslov.
The same way during the apparition when Our Lady gives us her blessing,
Ona uvijek kaže, ja vam dajem moj majčinski blagoslov.
she always says, I'm giving you my motherly blessing.
A najveći blagoslov koji možete dobiti na zemlji
But the greatest blessing that you can receive on earth
je onaj koji vam daju vaši pastiri.
is the one that you get from your shepherds.
Isto tako je rekla, ne zaboravite moliti za svoje pastire.
She also said, do not forget to pray for your shepherds,
Oni imaju ruke blagoslovljene od moga sina.
because their priestly hands are blessed by my son.
Zato vas molim, kad se vratite u svoje župe,
That is why I'm kindly asking of you, when you come back to your parishes,
pokažite kakav treba biti naš odnos prema svećenicima.
show to others how we should treat our priests.
Ako vaš svećenik ne čini kako vi mislite da treba,
And if your priest is not doing the way you think he should do,
nemoj ići okolo i suditi ga.
do not walk around judging him.
Uzmi krunicu, moli Boga za njega.
Better take the rosary and pray to dear God for him,
To je način da mu pomogneš,
because that will be the way to help him,
a ne sudi kritika.
and not through judging and criticizing.
Jer u ovom vremenu u kojem mi živimo,
Because in this time that we're living in,
ima tako puno suda i kritike,
people judge and criticize too much,
a tako je malo ljubavi.
but there is so little of love.
A Gospa želi da smo mi prepoznati po ljubavi,
And Our Lady desires that we may be recognized through love,
a ne da uzimamo u svoje ruke ono što može samo dragi Bog.
and not to take in our hands what only their God is supposed to do.
Samo on može suditi jer samo nas on pozna.
Only He can judge because He's the only one who knows us.
Meni je žao što ja ne mogu više reći o svemu onome zašto nas Gospod priprema.
I feel sorry that I cannot share with you more about what Our Lady has been preparing us for,
Ali vam mogu reći jednu stvar.
but I can tell you one thing.
Mi imamo ovo vrijeme koje mi sad živimo.
We have this time that we're living in,
I mi ga zovemo naše vrijeme.
and we call it our time.
A imamo vrijeme trijumfa Gospinog srca.
And we have also the time of the triumph of Our Lady's heart.
Jer ona je rekla ono što sam počela u Fatimi, završit ću u Medjugorju, moje će srce pobijediti.
Because here she said, what I started in Fatima, I will finish in Medjugorje. My heart will triumph.
I između ta dva vremena, znači ovoga našega i onoga trijumfa Gospinog srca, imamo jedan most.
So between these two times, our time and the time of the triumph of Our Lady's heart, we have a bridge.
A taj su most naši svećenici.
And that bridge is represented by our priests.
Zato Gospod toliko puno inzistira, posebno u zadnje vrijeme, na molitvi za njih.
That is why, especially recently, Our Lady insists that we pray for them.
Jer taj most mora biti jako čvrst,
Because that bridge has to be very strong,
da ga možemo svi preći.
so that every one of us can cross it over.
Gospa kaže, sa njima ću pobijediti.
Referring to them, Our Lady says, alongside them I will triumph.
Znači, bez naših svećenika nema ni trijumfa Gospinog srca.
Which means that without our priests, there cannot be the triumph of Our Lady's heart.
Ja isto tako kako sam shvatila,
The way I comprehend it,
kad čitam poruke,
when I read messages,
za Gospu na prvom mjestu je Bog, Isus i Duh Sveti.
for Our Lady in the first place is the Holy Trinity, God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit.
Na drugom mjestu su naši pastiri.
Then the second position is taken by our priests,
I
shepherds,
ona sebe stavlja na treće mjesto.
and she puts herself in the third position,
Ako se stavlja negdje.
if she puts herself anywhere.
Jer o sebi nikad ne govori, ne ističe sebe.
Because she never talks about herself and she never emphasizes herself.
Ona isto tako traži molitvu u obitelji.
She also invites us to pray in our families.
Ona kaže da ništa ne može ujediniti obitelji kao zajednička molitva.
Our Lady says there is nothing that can unite the family like when you pray together.
I ona kaže da roditelji imaju veliku odgovornost ispred svoje djece.
And she says that parents have great responsibility in front of their children.
Jer oni su ti koji trebaju staviti korijene vjere u svoje djece.
Because parents are those who are supposed to put seeds of faith in their children.
A to mogu samo zajedničkom molitvom i zajedničkim odlascima na svetu misu.
And they can do it only if they pray together and if they attend the Holy Mass together.
Jer mi ne možemo djeci govoriti o važnosti svete mise ako ne vide da je za nas na prvom mjestu.
Because we cannot speak to our children about the importance of the Holy Mass if they don't see that the Holy Mass is in the first place for us.
Ne možemo govoriti o važnosti molitve ako ne vide nas da molimo.
We cannot talk to them about the importance of prayer if they don't see us praying.
Zato Gospa kaže da roditelji imaju veliku odgovornost.
That is why Our Lady says that parents have great responsibility.
Jer djeca rade samo ono što vide u kući.
Because children do only what they see in their home.
Ja uvijek dam jedan simpatičan primjer iz svoje obitelji.
I always share with pilgrims cute example from my own family.
Moja starija kćerka Marija koja se sad udaje,
My older daughter Maria, who is now about to get married,
kad je imala samo 2 godine, ja joj nisam nikad govorila o kazanjima.
when she was only 2 years old, I never said a word to her about apparitions.
Jer mislila sam, mala je, što može razumjeti s 2 godine?
Because I thought at the age of 2, she's still little, what could she understand?
Ali jedan dan dok je bila sa svojom prijateljicom u sobi,
But one day while she was playing with her friend in the room,
kako sam ih ja stalno kontrolirala,
as I was watching over all the time,
i čula sam u drugu malecku da kaže, moja mama vozi auto.
one moment I heard this other girl saying to my daughter, you know, my mom drives a car.
I kako ja ne vozim, moja Marija je malo šutila.
And as I do not drive, my daughter Maria remained quiet for a moment.
Onda je rekla, pa što ti je to, moja priča s Gospom svaki dan.
And then she said to her, a big deal? My mom speaks with Our Lady every day.
Znači, bez da sam rekla, ona je shvatila.
So without even saying the word, she comprehended.
Jer vidjela je šta se dešava u kući.
Because she was able to see what was happening in our home.
Zato je važno da djeca vide da je za majku i oca Bog na prvom mjestu.
That is why it is important that children can see that for their mother and father, God is in the first place.
Poslije toga Gospa traži da postimo srijedi, petak, o kruhu i vodi.
After that, Our Lady asks from us to fast on bread and water on every Wednesday and Friday.
Ona ne traži post od onih koji su bolesni.
But she does not ask fasting from those who are sick.
Oni će kroz molitvu shvatiti što drugo mogu učiniti.
Those people will realize through their prayer what they can do instead of that.
Ali ako vi niste nikad postili 2 dana u tjednu,
But if you never fasted twice a week so far,
ako niste nikad molili krunicu svaki dan,
if you never prayed the entire rosary every day so
ja
far,
bih vam preporučila da pokušate onako kako je Gospa radila s nama.
I would like to recommend you to do the way Our Lady did with us.
Prva stvar koju je tražila bilo je 7 očenaša, Zdravo Marija, slava Otcu i vjerovanje.
The first thing she asked from us to pray on a daily basis was Creed and 7 sets of Our Father, Hail Mary, and Glory Be.
I nemojte mi reći da u 24 sata koje je Bog dao nema vremena za to.
And do not tell me that in 24 hours a day that God gave us, we have no time for that short prayer.
Poslije nekog vremena je tražila jedan dio krunice i da postimo petak.
Sometime after she asked from us to add one part of the rosary daily and to fast on Friday.
Onda poslije nekog vremena drugi dio krunice.
Then sometime after she added second part of the rosary daily.
Onda poslije nekog vremena treći dio krunice i da postimo srijedu.
Then sometime after even the third part of the rosary daily and to fast on Wednesday.
Ja se sjećam kad je Gospar tražila od nas da postimo srijedu i molimo treći dio krunice.
I remember the time when Our Lady added third part of the rosary daily and to fast on Wednesday.
Jakov vidioc imao samo 10 godina.
Little Jacob, visionary, was only 10 years old.
I kad je Gospa otišla, on je onako zabrnuto se okrenuo nama ostalim vidiocima.
So when Our Lady left, with a worried expression on his face, he turned to the rest of us and he said,
I ja se iz srca nadam da će se ona tu zaustaviti.
from the bottom of my heart, I hope that she will stop with this.
Bitno je da mi hodamo s Gospom.
Well, it is important that we walk with Our Lady.
Kad meni hodočasnici kažu kad se vratim kući molit ću čitavu krunicu, postit ću srijedu i petak.
When pilgrims in Medjugorje tell me, when I come back home, I will pray entire rosary every day, I will fast every Wednesday and Friday,
Ja kažem nemoj obećavati jer nećeš.
I say to that pilgrim, please do not make that promise because you will not make it.
Polako počni hodati s Gospom.
Start slowly walking with Our Lady.
I kad padneš, ona će ti dati ruku, pomoći ti da se ustaneš.
And in the moments when you fall, she'll give you her hand and help you to stand up.
Jedina stvar koju naša nebeska majka želi
Because the only thing that our Heavenly Mother desires
je dati nam svoga sina.
is to give us her Son.
Jer mi možemo imati sve što postoji na svijetu.
Because we could possess anything that exists in the world.
Ako nemamo mir, mi nemamo ništa.
But if we have no peace, we have nothing.
A jedini pravi mir je onaj koji nam daje Isus.
And the only true peace is the one that Jesus gives us.
Zato ona traži sve to od nas.
That is why she's asking all of this from us.
Jer ona želi da mi budemo sretni, da imamo mir.
Because she decides that we may be happy and to have peace.
Ja bih vam kao sestra preporučila da ne gubite vrijeme sudeći svoju molitvu.
As a sister, I would like to recommend you to not waste your time judging your own prayer.
Jer niko od nas ne može, jer li me neko kaže kad molim idu mi misli ili tako nešto.
Because people say, when I pray, my thoughts are wandering.
I da li je moja molitva u redu, da li nije u redu.
Is my prayer okay if it's not okay?
Ja uvijek kažem, bitno je da mi inzistiramo.
I always say it's important that we insist.
Naša molitva je naš razgovor s Bogom.
Because our prayer is our conversation with God.
Možda danas dobro razgovaramo.
It may be today that we speak good.
Sutra se pomalo gubimo.
The next day maybe we get lost a little bit.
Možda i preko sutra.
Maybe the same thing even the day after.
Ali opet ćemo se vratiti na to.
But we'll come back again.
Bitno je moliti.
It is important to pray.
A niko od nas ne može, ni ja ni vi, ne možemo reći ja molim dobro, ja činim kako Bog želi.
And none of us, neither me nor you, can say, I really do pray correct way and I do everything the way God wants me
Ja
to
se
do.
bojim ljudi koji tako kažu.
Personally, I'm afraid of such people.
Jer svi smo mi na putu svetosti.
Because we're all on a way of holiness.
Mi svi pokušavamo.
We all try.
A koliko uspijevamo, to će Bog suditi.
But how much do we succeed? God will decide that.
A mi se možemo samo nadati da će nas po ljubavi suditi.
We can only hope and pray that He will judge us out of love.
Ona isto tako traži da se ispoveda barem jedanput mjesečno.
Our Lady also asks us to go to Holy Confession at least once a month.
Ona kaže da nema čovjeka na zemlji koji nema potrebu za mjesečnom ispovjedom.
She says there is no man on earth who doesn't have a need of a monthly confession.
Ja bih htjela reći ovako kao sestra.
As a sister, I would like to say like
Kad ste
this.
već učinili toliko puno za našu nebesku majku,
Since you already did so much for our Heavenly Mother,
ostali ste svoje kuće, pošli ste na tako dug put.
you left your homes, you took such a long journey.
Ja znam kako je dug.
I know how long it is.
A vi ste to sve napravili za njenu ljubav.
And you did it all for her love.
A učinite taj korak.
Do even that step.
Očistite svoja srca.
Cleanse and purify your hearts.
Jer Gospa uvijek kaže, samo čisto srce zna kako se otvoriti.
Because Our Lady always says, only pure heart knows how to open.
I samo čisto srce zna primiti darove.
And only pure heart knows how to receive gifts.
I nemojte učiniti kao jedan naš župljanin.
But do not do like what our parishioner did.
Jer mi je to naš svećenik ispričao.
Because when our local priest told me this.
Taj župljanin kojega ja poznam došao je se ispovjediti.
The parishioner came to this priest to confession.
I rekao mu je, ja veličasnih grijeha nemam.
And he said, Most Reverend, I have no sins.
Ali moja žena čitav dan.
But my wife, whole day is up.
Ispovjedi se.
Go to confession, go to confession.
I samo radi mira u kući ja sam došao.
And just because of the peace in the family, I came.
Ali ja grijeha nemam.
But I have no sins.
I onda je svećenik rekao, ja sam mu se ustao i pružio mu ruku.
This priest says, then I stood up, shake his hand.
I rekao sam, o moj Isuse, oprosti me što te nisam odmah prepoznao.
I said, oh, Jesus, forgive me. I did not recognize you immediately.
Svi mi imamo šta reći.
Because we all have something to say.
Kako pogledamo svoje srce.
If we look into our heart.
Isto tako ona traži da vratimo Bibliju u obitelj.
The same way she's asking from us to bring back the Bible in our family.
Vidite, kad ona meni da poruku,
You see, when she gives me a message,
ona je meni ne objašnjava.
she doesn't explain that message to me.
Ona je meni da na isti način kao i ja vama.
She gives it to me the same way as I give it to you.
I ja moram kao i vi svi moliti i kroz molitvu pokušati shvatiti što Bog želi meni reći.
Same like every one of you, I also have to pray in order to be able to comprehend what God desires to tell me.
Vi koji pratite ove poruke svakog drugog u mjesecu,
You who have been following these messages on every second day of the month,
vidjeli ste da su dosta duge.
you notice that they're very long.
Ja je se sjećam točno kako je Gospa rekla,
And I can remember the message exactly word by word the way Our Lady said,
samo 2-3 minute poslije ukazanja.
only within a few minutes right after the apparition.
Zato je uvijek tu Miki sa papirom i olovkom.
That is why I always have Mickey with me with a notebook and pen.
Tako kad nas Gospa ostavi,
So when Our Lady leaves,
ja odmah kažem poruku.
I immediately dictate the message.
Jer kad se vratim u svoju sobu moliti,
Because later on when I come back to my room to pray,
ja mogu reći o čemu je govorila,
I can say what she spoke about,
ali ne mogu ponoviti od riječi do riječi.
but I cannot repeat word by word.
A bitno je da su samo njene riječi, a ne pomiješane s mojima.
And it is important that we have only her words, not her words mixed with my
I
words.
ja kao i vi isto molim
Same like all of you, I also pray,
i pokušavam shvatiti gdje sam ja u toj
and I'm
poruci.
trying to comprehend where am I in this message.
Tako kad Gospa kaže vratite Bibliju,
So when Our Lady says bring back the
ja
Bible,
mislim da mi svi imamo Bibliju u
I think
kući.
that we all have Bible in our homes.
Ali Gospa želi jednostavnu stvar,
But Our Lady desires a simple thing,
da je otvorimo svaki dan,
to open it every
da
day,
pročitamo 2-3
to
rečenice.
read a few
Nije
sentences.
bitno koliko,
Doesn't matter how much,
ali da je Biblija zaista prisutna u našem
but
domu.
that the Bible is truly present in our home.
A ne da mi samo kažemo da Bibliju imamo,
And not to say just, yes, we do have a Bible.
ali kad smo je zadnji put dirali ne sjećamo
But
se.
when did we touch it last time? We have no idea.
A Gospa kaže da su u Bibliji odgovori na sva pitanja koje mi treba.
And Our Lady says in Bible are answers to all the questions we have.
Eto, ja sam pokušala onako reći ono što ja osobno mislim da je
So
najvažnije.
here, I personally tried my best to share with you what I personally consider as the most important.
Ali sve ono što vi želite znati,
But whatever you may be interested in,
slobodno me pitajte.
feel free to ask.
Ja ako znam odgovorit ću iz sveg srca.
And if I know, I will answer with all my heart.
Zato smo se i sastali ovdje,
That is why we have gathered here,
da pričamo o našoj
to
majci.
talk about our mother.
Zato se nemojte ustručavati.
That is why do not hesitate.
Samo pitajte.
Feel free to ask. Of course, raise your hand. Exactly.
What about when you fall asleep during adoration? It happens to me all the time. Especially.
Kada za vrijeme klanjanja zaspeš, kaže.
Šta?
The question is, what to do?
Is that a sin if you fall asleep during adoration?
Pa to je pitanje za dragog Boga.
Well, that's a question for dear God.
Ja sam samo vidio.
I'm just a visionary.
Ja samo prenosim ono što Gospa kaže.
I only convey what Our Lady says.
A to može da porazgovara sa svećenikom.
But about that, maybe you can speak with priests.
Jer i ja isto tako za sve trebam svećenika.
Because I personally, for all these things, I also need priests
Da me vodi i da mi usmjeri.
to lead me, to direct me.
Možda da proba spava po noćima.
A?
Da proba spavati po noći.
I try to sleep during the night.
I'm sure you're aware of Our Lady appearing in Cabello. Is there any way to fit that vision together with Medjugorje?
Gospa je u Medjugorju spominjala samo Fatimu.
In Medjugorje, Our Lady mentioned only Fatima.
Jer kad je rekla samo ono što sam počela u Fatimi, završit ću u Medjugorju.
When she said, what I started in Fatima, I will finish in
I
Medjugorje.
ništa drugo nije spominjala.
And she mentioned nothing else.
What does it feel like inside when you see Our Lady sad and crying?
To je nemoguće opisati.
That's impossible to describe.
Uopće vidjeti Gospu.
To see Our Lady, I mean.
Ne samo žalosno, nego uopće i vidjeti.
Not to see her only sorrowful, but to see her in general.
Ja osobno mislim da je vidjeti Gospu biti u raju.
I personally think that to see Our Lady is like to be in heaven.
Jer možda se najbolje može ovim primjerom opisati.
Maybe it would be the best to explain it in this way.
Ja sam majka.
I'm a mother.
I kao svaka majka ja bi dala svoj život za svoju djecu.
And as every mother, I would give my life for my children.
Ali kad sam sa Gospom za vrijeme ukazanja,
But when I am with Our Lady during the apparition,
ja ih se uopće ne sjećam.
I do not remember my children.
Ja se uopće ne sjećam da postoji.
I'm not even aware that they exist.
Ja samo želim da me ona gleda i da ja gledam nju.
I just want that it goes on that she is looking at me, that I may look at her.
I nemam drugih želja,
And I have no other desires,
niti misli, niti bilo čega drugog.
or thoughts, or anything else.
Jer ti u sebi osjećaš toliku ljepotu
Because within yourself you feel such beauty
da ti ništa drugo ne treba.
that you do not need anything else.
Pitaju me da li sam Gospu dodirnula, da li je Gospa mene dodirnula.
People ask me, did I touch Our Lady? Did Our Lady touch me?
Nikada niti ona mene, niti ja nju.
No, I never touched her, she never touched me.
Ali ja uvijek znam, ja mogu nju vidjeti 100 godina.
But even if I see her for 100 years,
Ja znam da je ona majka Božja.
I always know she's the Mother of
A
God,
ja sam samo jedna koja hoda po ovoj
and
zemlji.
I'm just one walking on this earth.
Ali isto tako nisam osjetila ni potrebu.
But at the same time, I never felt a need.
Jer kad te Gospa gleda,
Because when Our Lady is looking at you,
ti imaš sve.
you have everything.
Osjećaš se voljenim.
You feel loved.
A kad ja pričam o tome, mene odmah
When I speak about it,
toliko se sjetim njene ljubavi.
I remember her love so much.
Jednostavno ne mogu mirno da pričam o tome.
I cannot go on and talk about that.
Jer to je tako predivan
So
osjećaj.
it's such a wonderful feeling.
I ja mislim da je to samo u raju.
I think that is only in paradise.
A možeš misliti koliko boli kad je vidiš tužnu.
And imagine how much it hurts when you see her sad.
I kad mi kažu kao kako si ti sretna što si vidjela Gospu,
And when people tell me how lucky you are you saw Our Lady.
ja uvijek kažem pazi na koga si ljubomoran.
And I always say, watch out who you are jealous with.
Jer vidjeti Gospu je za mene biti u raju.
Because to see Our Lady for me is to be in paradise.
Ali treba živjeti kad ona ode.
But when she leaves, you still have to live.
Jer i na to se ne možeš navići.
And you simply cannot get used to it.
I poslije ovoliko godina
And after so many years,
uvijek je ista bol.
I always have the same pain.
Kad ona ode, ja imam snagu samo reći poruku
When she leaves, I just have enough strength to dictate the message,
i odmah idem u svoju sobu moliti.
and then I go straight to my room to pray.
I onda čitav dan malo molim, malo plačem, malo molim.
And that whole day I just pray a little, then I cry, then I pray, then I
I
cry.
preko te molitve Bog mi dadne snagu da shvatim
And through this prayer, God gives me strength to comprehend
i da idem naprijed.
and to go on.
Ali nije lako.
But it's not easy.
Thank you.
Amen.
Do you always have to go to a special place for the apparition, or does Mary come to you wherever you are?
Pa ne može gdje sam god ja.
It really cannot be wherever I am.
Mora biti mjesto dostojno Gospe.
It has to be place worthy for Our Lady's presence.
Mi
of
smo,
Our
na
Lady's
primjer, imali
presence.
ukazanje na brdu,
For example, we had apparition on the hill
u crkvi,
in church.
onda ovdje u ovoj šumi kad smo se krili
Then here when we were hiding here in the forest behind.
i u kućama kad smo se krili.
And then when we were hiding in our homes.
A sad ja uvijek idem na plavi križ.
But now I always go to the blue cross.
Jer Gospa nije moja,
Because Our Lady is not mine.
ona je svačija majka.
She's mother of everyone.
I ja ne mogu reći nikome ti možeš ući, ti ne možeš
And
ući.
I cannot say to someone, you may or you may not enter or come.
Ko sam ja da to kažem?
Who am I to say that?
I onda najviše volim na plavi križ.
And that's why I prefer to go to the blue cross.
Jer tu svi mogu.
That's where everyone can come.
Ko želi, može doći.
Who wants to come can come.
I bolesni, i zdravi, i svi.
Both. Those who are sick and those who are healthy. Everybody. Yes.
I had a problem coming here because is it wrong to try to look for hope, look at the sun, look for visions, look for signs? Is that wrong?
To je ljudsko.
That's human.
Ali ja bih joj preporučila da ne gubi vrijeme na to.
But I would like to recommend you don't waste time on that.
Traži čudo u svom srcu.
Look for the miracle in your heart.
Traži čudo prepoznavanja ljubavi Božje.
Look for the miracle to be able to recognize the love of God.
Jer ja, na primjer, sam jedan put kad sam bila u crkvi, vanjski oltar,
For example, one time during the Mass on the outside altar,
vidjela sam hodočasnike koji su okrenuli leđa najvećem čudu,
I saw the pilgrims who turned away from the greatest miracle,
Isusu na oltaru,
that is Jesus on the altar,
i traže sunce.
and they were looking for his sun dancing.
Meni bi njih bilo žao,
I felt sorry for them
jer oni nisu shvatili.
because they did not comprehend.
I ja sam čitavu misu molila za njih.
And the whole Mass I prayed for them.
Traži čudo u svoga srca.
Look for the miracle of your heart.
Jer ako tebi Gospa nešto želi pokazati,
Because if Our Lady wants to show you something,
ne trebaš ti tražiti.
you do not need to look for it.
Ona će to tebi pokazati.
She will show you that.
It's not a question, I just feel compelled to say something to you. I'm about your age, and I remember when the Olympics took place in Sarajevo, and I was very touched. We watched something on TV, it was during the Civil War, and what happened to the Olympic Stadium and I can only imagine how you must have felt, because that being the town that you live in, and with all the messages from Our Lady. And I just want to tell you that I really feel for you.
Thank you. Ali ono što su oni gledali u svijetu da je bilo na olimpijadi u Sarajevu,
But what you watched that was happening during the Olympics in Sarajevo
je bila jedna predstava za svijet.
was fabrication for the world.
Jer uopće tako nama nije bilo.
Because it wasn't to us like that.
Jer tek kad prije nego što će početi olimpijada,
Just before the Olympics were supposed to start,
u naše prodavnice su došle čokolade, bombone, banane i
that is when our shops were packed with chocolates, with bananas, with all the fruits, etc.
Jer kod nas je moglo biti samo ono što ima u Jugoslaviji
Because we here could get only what was produced in Yugoslavia,
i samo ruske stvari gledati.
and only to look at Russian stuff.
Ali kad je počela olimpijada,
But when Olympics started,
bila je predstava za svijet.
it was a show for the world.
Sve smo imali.
We had everything.
Da se vidi kako se živi u komunizmu.
To show to the world like how communism provides
Ali
everything.
kad je prestala olimpijada,
But when Olympics stopped,
opet sve isto.
the same thing like before. Yes.
Can you explain the suffering? When even yesterday you said that Our Lady asked Vitska to suffer, and the idea of redemptive suffering. I know that you can offer suffering for saving souls, but is there any more that you can explain about that?
Vezano sa patnjom ljudi, kako objasniti patnju našo.
Pa vidi, ja mogu reći ono što ja mislim,
I can say what I think,
ali nemojte zaboraviti da sam ja samo vidioc.
but don't forget I'm just a visionary.
Ja samo govorim ono što mi se kaže.
I only say what I was told.
Za mene simbol moje vjere je križ.
For me, the symbol of my faith is cross.
I ja ako kažem da vjerujem u Boga,
And if I say that I believe in God,
ako Bog mene izabere
and if God chooses me
da malo mu pomognem nositi križ,
to help him a little bit to carry the cross,
kako bih ja bila vjernica
what kind of a believer would I be
ako bi rekla ne?
if I would say no?
I zato za mene je ponijeti križ, osjetiti da je tebe Bog izabrao,
That's why to carry the cross for me would be like to feel that God has chosen you,
da mu pomogneš u tom momentu.
to help him in that moment.
I normalno je da se padne pod križem.
And it's normal to fall under the weight of the cross.
I Isus je padao,
Even Jesus fell.
ali uz molitvu mi ćemo se dići.
With prayer, we'll be able to stand up.
So should people ask for healing then?
Zašto ne?
Why not?
Jer imaš majku, imaš oca.
You have mother, you have father.
I zašto ne pitati to?
And why not to ask that?
I Isus je rekao, ako je moguće da me ovaj kalež mimo iće.
Even Jesus said, if it's possible for this to avoid me,
Ako ne tvoja volja.
but if not, may your will be done.
Ja uvijek, kad mi je bilo teško,
Whenever I had hard time,
ja sam uvijek govorila, ako ovo mora biti,
I always said, if this has to be,
nemoj me ostaviti sam.
don't leave me alone.
Bez tebe ne mogu,
Without you, I can't.
ali s tobom mogu.
But with you, I can.
I svako od nas ima svoj križ.
And every one of us has a cross, our
Ako
own
ga
cross.
nemaš danas,
If you don't have it today,
imat ćeš sutra, ne boj se.
you'll have it tomorrow. Don't be afraid.
Jer kao što je jedan svećenik na oltaru rekao,
As one priest said from the altar,
svaki čovjek je križ. Evo, raširiš ruke, ti si križ.
every man is cross. When you extend your hands like this, you're a cross.
Take on your cross and carry it.
Neko ima teži, neko manji.
If someone has harder, someone has a lighter cross,
Mislim da onako kako možemo.
I think we have as much as we can.
You said on your first vision you saw the baby Jesus. In subsequent visions, did you see any other heavenly body like
Ja nisam vidjela Isusa,
I didn't see Jesus.
baby Jesus.
baby Jesus?
Jer Ja sam bila ispod brda,
because I was at base of the hill,
a Gospa je bila na brdu.
and Our Lady was on the hill.
Ja sam samo vidjela da drže dijete u naručju,
I was just able to see that she was holding infant baby in her
ali
arms,
ja nisam vidjela to dijete.
but I did not see that baby.
Ja sam samo pretpostavila da je to Isus.
I only supposed that it was Jesus.
Kao da nam ona govori,
As if with that she was telling us,
ja kao majka dolazim
I come as mother,
i donosim vam spasenje,
and I bring you salvation,
moga sina.
and that is my son.
A nikoga drugoga nisam vidjela,
And I didn't see anyone else,
samo Gospu.
just Our Lady.
Ima svećenika.
Hey, Father, please.
You spoke very beautifully about priests and respecting priests. How do you feel about the fact that the local bishops and the CDF have said that these messages shouldn't be promoted as supernatural? That the message that people come here to pray and celebrate sacraments, but that they shouldn't be promoting the messages.
Ali oni su rekli da nisu ni naravna, ali i da ne mogu reći da nisu. Kako nam?
The decision was of the commission before, like, apparitions they cannot claim neither supernatural nor opposite. It's neutral, so they're waiting for future.
I oni nisu rekli ni da ni ne.
They didn't say yes or no.
Lokalnog biskupa ja nisam nikada vidjela.
I personally never had a chance to meet the local bishop.
On nikad nije tražio sastanak s nama.
He never asked to meet with us.
I ja njega poštujem kao svoga biskupa.
But I respect him as my bishop,
I molim za njega.
and I pray for him.
I bit će onako kako Bog želi.
But everything will be the way God wants.
Jer možda i to Božja volja.
Even that could be God's will.
Ja sve prihvaćam tako.
I accept everything in such a way.
Jer da moj biskup meni kaže,
Because if my bishop tells me,
dođi u Mostar na koljenima,
come to Mostar from Medjugorje on your knees,
ja bi to učinila.
I would do it.
Jer to je moj biskup.
Because that is my bishop.
But hasn't the bishop said there shouldn't be official pilgrimages here?
Sorry?
Hasn't the commission said there should not be official pilgrimages here?
Službena hodočašća da ne budu u Medjugorju.
To se priče, ja ništa ne znam da je neko to točno rekao.
I don't know that.
Niko nije točno rekao.
No one said exactly.
Jer mi smo bili pred komisijom,
Because we were with commission
ovom u Vatikanu,
in Vatican,
u Kongregacija za nauku katoličke vjere.
the congregation of the doctrine of faith,
I svako od nas 6 vidioca je trebao jedan po jedan ići tamo.
and every one of us 6 visionaries was supposed to go there one by one.
I rekli su nam da će komisija odlučiti,
And they told us the commission will decide,
a mi ne smijemo ništa govoriti što je bilo na komisiji.
and we should not share with anyone what happened during that interrogation, let's call it that way.
A meni su tako isto rekli da i biskup ne smije ništa govoriti o Medjugorju.
And they told me the same, that even bishop or anyone else is supposed to say anything about Medjugorje so far.
Tako je meni rečeno tada.
That's the way I was told that.
Ja sam ono što su meni rekli.
I just share what I was told. So.
Jer nas niko ništa ne obavještava.
Because no one reports us about anything.
Oni još misle da nama 15 godina.
They still think that we're like 15 years old. So.
I rekli su mi samo neki svećenici koji poznaju tu neki ljudi u komisiji da je pozitivno bilo mišljenje komisije.
Some priests who are close there, they said that the commission opinion was positive.
Ali ništa meni niko nije rekao.
But no one told me anything directly.
A ja sam bila sa papom Ivanom Pavlom II.
What I had that honor to meet personally with Pope John Paul II.
Jer kad sam bila u crkvi Svetog Petra u Rimu,
When I was in Rome in St. Peter Basilica,
bila sam s jednim svećenikom iz Italije
I was with an Italian priest.
i papa je prolazi i blagosivao
And the Holy Father was walking by, he was blessing people.
i kad je mene blagoslovio, prošao je.
When he blessed me, he continued to walk.
I onda mu je ovaj svećenik naglas rekao, Sveti oče, ovo je Mirjana iz Medjugorja.
And then the priest who was with me told to the Holy Father loudly, Holy Father, this is Mirjana from Medjugorje.
On je se vratio i ponovno blagoslovio i otišao.
Holy Father came back, he blessed me once again and left.
I onda sam ja rekla ovom svećeniku, to se ništa ne može učiniti, on samo misli da meni treba dupli
And
blagoslov.
then I said to this priest, we can't do anything about it. He thinks I just need double blessing.
Ali smo posle podne dobili poruku
But in the afternoon, we got a message, invitation,
da dođem u Castel Gandolfo sutra ujutru u 8 sati.
to come to Castel Gandolfo next morning at 8 a.m.
Ništa nisam zaboravila,
I didn't forget anything.
jer tu sam čitavu noć sjedla.
Because that whole night I was sitting.
Jer stavite se na moje mjesto.
Just try to put yourself in my position.
Ja sam svećenika mogla vidjeti samo na oltaru.
At that time, I was able to see priests only on the altar
Sat vremena i to je to.
for an hour, and that was it.
A biskupa samo kad sam se krizmala
And I
u
saw,
Sarajevu.
a bishop in Sarajevo only when I was confirmed.
I ja sam tad mislila, da je on pao s neba.
And that's what I thought. When I was confirmed, I thought the bishop fell down from heaven.
Jer mi nismo imali priliku u komunizmu vidjeti svećenike.
Because in communism, we didn't have a chance to meet with priests.
I nije bilo na televizoru
And we
svećenika.
didn't have priests on the TV.
I kad sam ja samo pomislila da ću ja sutra biti s papom,
But I only started thinking about that I would meet with Pope the next day.
ja bi samo
I
plakala.
was just crying.
I tako sutra kad sam došla pred njega,
And that is how it was the next day when I came in front of him.
ja sam samo plakala.
I was only crying.
A on je, kako je sveti čovjek,
As he was holy man,
on je počeo meni govoriti poljski.
he started talking to me in Polish.
Jer mislio je, to su slavenske jezici,
He thought those are two Slavic languages.
da ću se ja osjećati možda malo komotnije.
And I would feel more comfortable.
Ali ja nisam ništa razumjela.
But I did not understand a word.
Onda sam mu rekla, možemo li pokušati na talijanski.
That's when I said to him, can we try in Italian?
I onda smo razgovarali talijanski
That we spoke in Italian.
i on mi je rekao između ostalog
And among other things he said to me,
da nisam papa, već bi bio u Medjugorju.
if I were not Pope, I would be in Medjugorje a long time ago.
Znam sve, pratim sve.
I know everything, I have been following everything.
Čuvajte mi Medjugorje jer je nada za cijeli svijet.
Take good care of Medjugorje because Medjugorje is hope for the entire world.
I molih hodočasnike da mole za moje nakane.
And ask pilgrims to pray for my intentions.
I kad je on umro,
And when he died,
ja sam došla na ukazanje
I came to one of those apparitions,
i ispred mene je bilo puno cipela.
and in front of me were many shoes.
I ja sam, ne znam šta sam mislila.
I don't know what I thought.
Jer toliko cipela, zašto? Ali ja sam isto malo pred ukazanje, nisam ni ja na zemlji.
Why so many pairs of shoes were there? But you know, before the apparition, I cannot say that I'm really on earth.
I kad se završilo ukazanje, jedan gospodin mi je prišao
So when that apparition was over, a gentleman approached me.
i rekao je, ja sam, predstavio se meni,
He presented himself to me,
a samo je zamolio da bude inkognito.
but he kindly asked to remain incognito.
Rekao, ja sam bio prijatelj sa papom Ivanom Pavlom II.
He said, I was friend with John Paul II, Pope,
I uvijek sam se šalio s njim.
and I always joked with him
On je želio doći u Medjugorje.
because he wanted to come to
I
Medjugorje.
ja sam uvijek govorio, ako ne budeš ti, ja ću ponijeti tvoje cipele, pa ću prohodat po Medjugorju, po toj zemlji koju toliko voliš.
And I would say to him, don't worry, if you don't succeed, then I'll bring your shoes, and in the symbolical way, you'll be walking along the earth that you love so much.
I on kaže, ja sam sad osjetio da to trebam napraviti.
And he said, and I felt after he died that I had to do it.
Onda isto tako kardinal Schemberg,
At the same time, Cardinal Schönborn from Vienna,
on dolazi stalno u
he
Medjugorje.
comes to Medjugorje.
On je rekao, ja sam u Austriji bio toliko puno plodova,
He said, in Austria, I was able to see so many fruits.
da sam želio vidjeti stablo koje ga daje.
So I simply had to come to see a tree that provides those fruits.
I da ja u Austriji imam ispovjedi za 1 godinu, kao u Medjugorju u jedan dan,
And if I could have so many confessions in Austria in one whole year, as much as they have in one day in Medjugorje,
ja bi bio presretan kardinal.
I'll be the happiest cardinal,
I mnogi drugi.
and many others.
Zato se ja s tim ne zamaram.
That is why I personally don't worry much about
To je
that.
Gospina briga.
That is Our Lady's care.
Ja uvijek kad molim, ja kažem.
Whenever I pray, I say,
Ja molim za dar ljubavi.
I pray for the gift of love,
Da mogu hodočasnicima pomoći da te upoznaju.
to be able to help pilgrims to come to know you.
A ti znaš kako sa svećenicima, biskupima i kardinalima.
And you know how to deal with priests, bishops, cardinals.
Ali ne kažem ja to njoj kad imam ukazanje.
I don't say that to her during the apparition,
Nego u mojoj molitvi.
but in my prayer.
Tako da to je u njenim rukama. Biće Božja volja.
So it's in her hands, and God's will be done. Yes.
Have you ever been told why Medjugorje, why it happened here?
A mi smo pitali na početku ukazanja.
We did ask at the beginning of the apparitions,
Zašto Medjugorje, zašto nas 6?
why Medjugorje and why 6 of us?
Ona je rekla da je ovdje našla molitvu,
She said she found a prayer here,
jer ovo je bila komunistička država.
because this was communist country.
Ali i ti si morao odlučiti ili Bog ili moć.
And you had to decide God or earthly power.
I ovdje su svi odlučili Bog.
And here everybody decided for God.
I ovdje se svako večer molila krunica.
And every evening in families we prayed rosary.
Svaki se petak postio.
Every Friday was day of fasting.
I bilo je se spremno dati život za Boga.
And people were ready to give life for God.
I mnogi su nestajali po noći.
And many people simply disappeared overnight.
Ali niko nije rekao ne želim više Boga.
But even in spite of that, nobody said, I don't want this God anymore.
A kad smo pitali zašto nas 6 vidioca,
And when we asked why the 6 of us,
ona je rekla samo zato što vas trebam takve kakvi ste.
she said, only because I need you the way you are.
A nas 6, svi 6 smo različiti.
And the 6 of us are completely 6 different individuals.
drugčiji karakter i drugčija osobnost, sve.
We have different characters, different personality, everything.
Mi nismo bili prijatelji prije ukazanja.
And before apparitions, we were not even friends.
Ja sam poznavala Ivanku
I didn't know Ivanka,
i malo Vicku.
and a little bit I knew Vicka.
Ali Mariju nisam znala, Ivana nisam znala.
But I didn't know Maria, I didn't know Ivan.
I ja se uvijek sjetim riječi Fraslavka Barbarića, svećenika koji umro na Križevcu.
I always remember the words of late Father Slavko Barbarić, the priest who died on the cross hill.
On je bio ujak od mog muža.
He was my husband's uncle,
I dolazio je često kod nas.
and he visited us often.
Jedan put je došao ljut.
One time he came angry.
A meni je bilo čudno vidjeti Fraslavka ljuto.
And for me it was strange to see Father Slavko angry.
I ja sam ga pitala šta je se desilo.
And I asked him, what happened?
On mi je rekao, kako možeš tako nešto pitati?
He said, how can you ask me something like that?
Ja, Fraslavko Barbarić.
I, Father Slavko Barbarić,
Da sam ja Gospa.
if I were Our Lady,
Ja nikad vas 6 ne bi
I would never choose 6 of you.
I za mene znate da je Gospa zaista
And for me, the sign that Our Lady is really present here
je to što je izabrala vas 6.
is the fact that she chose 6 of you.
Samo ja to mogla napraviti.
Only she could do that.
Jer on je pokušavao 6 mjeseci da napravi sastanak sa svima šesteroma.
Because for over 6 months he tried to get all 6 of us at the same time.
I nije uspio.
And he did not succeed.
On je rekao, ovome svećeniku sam nekada, Fraslavko Barbarić,
Father Slavko Barbarić said
on je rekao od biskupa tajniku, jednom od tajnika,
to one of the secretaries of bishop,
rekao, išli smo zajedno u školu.
he said, we went to school together.
Ja sam uvijek bio bolji učenik od tebe.
I was always better student than you
Ti si
were.
uvijek prepisivao od mene.
You always looked at what I was writing to write down as well.
I šta je sad u Medjugorju?
And what's now in Medjugorje?
Da ja toliko vjerujem,
That I believe so much,
a ti ne.
and you do not.
A ko je pametniji?
Who's smarter?
Liliana, thank you for inviting us into your home.
Oh, you are welcome. You don't need to say to me thank you. We are all brothers and sisters in front of our Father.
But thank you, it's a gift to be invited into someone's home, and we all need to do that more often
Recimo
with
se ja
each
osjećam
other.
neugodno
I
kad se
feel
zahvaljujem.
uncomfortable now when you think.
Postaje suprotno uči.
Because Our Lady teaches me opposite.
Jer ona uvijek kaže da se trebamo zahvaljivati samo dragom Bogu.
She always says we should thank only to dear God.
Jer ovo je sve njegovo djelo.
Because this is all His work.
Ona kaže, ja sam ovdje s vama i to vam pokazuje koliko vas Bog ljubi.
She says the fact that I'm here with you shows you how much God loves you.
Zato nemojte se meni zahvaljivati, molim
That
vas.
is why please do not thank me.
Samo se zahvaljujemo dragom Bogu.
Let us thank only to dear God.
But I thank God
But
for
thank
giving
you.
us to invite others into our homes in America and Canada, to make people feel welcome.
Ovdje je to normalno.
It's normal here. So
Jer ovdje ne može se reći da je Medjugorje nečije.
you cannot say Medjugorje belongs to this or to that one.
Medjugorje je svačije.
Medjugorje belongs to everyone.
Jer ja, kao što sam vam rekla kad ste došli,
As I told you when you came,
ovdje je majka.
Mother is here.
I ko može reći, moja je majka, tvoja nije?
And who can say, she's my mother, she's not your mother?
Ovdje su svi u svojoj kući.
Everybody here is in their own home.
I mislim da je ovo jedino mjesto u svijetu gdje nema nacija.
And I think this is the only place in the world where we don't recognize the nations.
Da to nije uopće bitno.
It's not important at all.
Jer Gospa nikada nije jednu naciju isticala.
Because Our Lady never stressed one nation more than
Nikad nije
another.
rekla, dragi Hrvati, dragi Amerikanci, dragi Italijani.
She never said, dear Croatians, dear Americans, dear Italians.
Ona kaže, draga djeca.
Because she says, dear children.
I tako se ovdje svi osjećamo.
And that is how we all feel here.
Kao njena djeca sa istim pravima.
As her children with the same equal rights.
Mnogima Amerikanci pitaju jedno pitanje tipično američko.
Many Americans do ask me, a typical American question.
Šta Gospa kaže za Amerikance?
What does Our Lady say about Americans?
I onda ja napravim onako ozbiljan izraz lica.
Then I make serious expression on my
I
face.
kažem, pa kaže da ste najpametniji,
And I said, well, she says you're smartest,
najbolji,
the best,
najmoćniji.
the most powerful.
Onda shvate da se šalim.
Then they comprehend that I'm joking.
Zbog toga nema.
Because for Our Lady, those things do not exist.
Samo njena djeca na zemlji.
Only her children on earth.
A meni se sviđa, volim se šaliti.
I love to joke.
Jer ako se mi šalimo, smijemo,
Because
veselimo,
if we joke, rejoice, if we smile,
onda pokazujemo kako je lijepo imati ljubav Božju.
then we do show how beautiful it is to have God's love.
A ne onako uvijek ozbiljne izraze lica, depresivne, tužne.
And not always serious, sad, depressed faces.
Moramo pokazati ljubav Božju na našim licima.
We have to express and show God's love on our faces.
Radost ljubavi Božje.
The joy of God's love.
Ja uvijek ispričam priču o jednome momčiću od 15 godina iz Italije.
I always share with pilgrims a story about a 15-year-old boy from Italy.
On je došao k meni
He came to me
i rekao mi je, ja vjerujem u Boga.
and he said, I believe in God.
A znaš kad neko dijete želi ozbiljno da razgovara.
You know, when you have a child who wants to have a serious conversation,
I ja sam ga onako prihvatila taj ozbiljni razgovor.
and I accepted that serious conversation.
I rekla sam, pa ti si predivan momak.
I said, well, you're a wonderful boy.
On je rekao, ja se molim svaki dan.
And then he said, I pray every day.
Ja sam rekla, pa ti si zaista neponovljiv.
I said, you're just unique.
A on me onda pogledao s onim svojim predivnim očima
Then with his beautiful eyes, he looked at me
i rekao mi je, ali ja u crkvu ne idem.
and he said to me, but I do not go to church.
I onda sam ja pokušala kao majka da mu pričam o crkvi.
Then as a mother, I tried to talk to him about church.
Zašto idem u crkvu i sve to.
Why do we go to church and all this?
Onda mi je onako žalosno gledao
Then with a sad look on his eyes, he looked at me.
i rekao mi je, ja to sve znam.
He said, I know all of that.
Ali kad uđem u crkvu
But when I enter in church,
i kad ja vidim sve te žalosne, depresivne, ljute face,
and when I see all those sad, depressed, angry faces,
ja odmah izađem napolje.
I immediately go out.
I to je mene zamislilo.
And that made me think,
Kakav mi primjer našoj djeci dajemo?
what kind of example do we give to our children?
Radost ljubavi Božje ili tugu?
Joy of God's love or sadness of God's love?
Naša djeca tuge imaju toliko u svijetu.
Our children can have so much sadness in the world already.
Dosta da pogledaju vijesti.
It's enough to watch the news.
Ali trebali bi na nama koji kažemo da smo djeca Božja,
But on us who claim to be the children of God,
trebali bi vidjeti radost.
they should see joy.
Mariana, does the Blessed Mother ever speak about all the abuse going on in the Catholic Church?
Ne, ona samo traži molitvu za svećenike.
No, Our Lady only asks a prayer for priests.
I mislim da nam s tim daje primjer.
And I think that with this she gives us an example.
Jer ako ti počneš pričati, komentirati,
Because if you start talking, commenting,
šta s tim mijenjaš?
what do you change with that?
Ti samo činiš loše sebi
You only cause bad to yourself
i onima koji te slušaju.
and to those who are listening to you.
Ja kad čujem nešto ružno,
When I hear something bad,
ja se odmah spustim na koljena
I get on my knees,
i uzmem krunicu
take the rosary,
i molim.
and I pray.
Molim dragog Boga da upravi sa svim tim.
I pray to dear God to direct all of this.
A jer ja ne mogu,
Because I cannot,
a on može.
and He can.
This may seem an odd question, but when praying the Rosary, I try to say the Hail Mary as a background while I'm meditating on the mystery, or do you say the Hail Mary
Kad moli
with
za
with the emphasis on the Hail Mary prayer, or are you meditating on the mystery? I don't know why I'm asking this question.
Ako Gospa kaže molite se srce,
Well, if Our Lady says pray with heart,
ona to meni kaže i tebi.
she tells me that same as she tells that to you.
Ona znači meni to ne objašnjava.
So she doesn't explain that to me.
Ja mogu reći onako kako sam ja shvatila.
I can say only the way I comprehended that.
Ja, na primjer, kad molim Oče naš,
For example, when I pray, Our Father,
ja nastojim
I try
da svaka riječ koja izlazi iz mojih usta
that every word that comes through my mouth
prođe kroz moje srce.
may pass through my heart first.
Na primjer, ako ja kažem Oče naš,
For example, if I say, Our Father,
da ja osjetim u svom srcu da Bog je moj Otac.
that I may feel within my heart that God is my Father.
To bi bilo za mene molitva sa srca.
For me, that will be the prayer with heart. One more question? Yes.
Well, you can tell we're from the States, so one of the things in our area is everybody wants to know a little bit about the secrets. Everybody's so afraid, and I wasn't going to bring it up because I know it's not about the secrets. It's about coming into relationship with God and all of that. But what do you tell people, when, they haven't made that commitment to God yet, because they're waiting for the secrets, they're like waiting for that, whatever. So is there anything you could give me to bring to those who are...
I'll tell you what I can say.
Jer
Oh,
tajne su
beautiful.
tajne.
Because secrets are secrets.
Ja mislim da nisam ja ta koja čuva tajne.
And I think that I'm not the one who keeps secrets.
Mislim da je to dragi Bog.
I think it's dear God.
Jer, na primjer, svi ti liječnici koji su nas ispitivali,
For example, all these doctors who investigated us,
na primjer, jedni iz Austrije, iz Innsbrucka, gdje je baš taj institut za, naravno,
for example, one group of doctors from Innsbruck, from Austria, from an Institute for Supernatural Happenings in the World,
oni uvijek izaberu jedno od nas vidioca.
they always choose one of us visionaries.
Tad sam ja bila.
That time I was the one.
I oni su stavili sve te aparate po meni,
So they put all those electrodes all over me,
ali su me i hipnotizirali.
but they also hypnotized me.
A bila sam na detektoru laži.
And I was also connected to the lie detector.
It was very interesting, like CSI in America. I love this. I pod hipnozom su me vratili na ukazanje.
And under hypnosis, they brought me back to the moment of the apparition.
I znači oni su mogli sve saznati što njih zanima.
So they could find out anything they wanted to know.
Ali u ukazanjima, ali u tajnama nisu mogli ništa.
But they couldn't find out anything about secrets.
Jer mislim da je to zato što je to dragi Bog.
Because I think that is the reason, because it is God Himself keeping us.
A ja, za sada Ivanka, Jakov i ja imamo svih 10 tajni.
Until now, Ivanka, Yakov and me have received all 10 secrets.
Ostali vidioci imaju još 9.
The other 3 visionaries received 9 secrets so far.
I ja ću trebati izabrati svećenika kome ću reći tajne.
I'm supposed to choose a priest to whom I will reveal the secrets.
Mora biti svećenik.
It has to be priest.
I ja ću njemu reći 10 dana prije,
I will tell him 10 days before what will happen,
a 3 dana prije on će reći svima.
and 3 days before he will say to everybody.
Ali Gospod uvijek kaže, nemojte govoriti o tajnama.
But Our Lady always says, do not speak about secrets.
Molite.
You better pray.
Jer ko osjeća mene kao majku, a Boga kao svoga oca,
Because one who feels me as mother and God as father,
nema straha ni od čega.
that one has no fear of anything.
Strah imaju samo oni koji još nisu upoznali ljubav
Because
Božju.
only those who did not have, or who have not come to know the love of God yet, those people have fear.
A mi kao ljudska bića, mi uvijek pričamo o budućnosti.
But we as human beings, we always speak about future.
Šta će biti, kad će biti, gdje će biti.
What, when, where will happen.
A ja uvijek kažem isto.
But I always repeat the same.
Ko od nas sad, nazočnih ovdje,
Who among us present here now
može reći sa sigurnošću da će sutra biti živ?
can say for sure that we'll be alive tomorrow?
Ono što nas naša majka uči je da smo spremni ovaj moment doći pred Boga.
What our mother has been teaching us is to be ready this very moment to come before God.
A ne govoriti o budućnosti.
And not to talk about future.
Nije moramo čekati spremni kao da će biti sad.
We have to wait for that future being ready as if it's going to happen now.
A mogu vam samo reći, ne bojte se.
But I can just tell you, do not be afraid.
Jer naša majka nije s nama ovdje da bi nam donijela zlo.
Because our mother is not here with us in order to bring us evil.
Ona je s nama da bi nam donijela spasenje.
She's with us in order to bring us salvation,
Da bi nam donijela svoga sina.
in order to bring us her son.
I kako može srce jedne majke pobijediti
And how can a heart of a mother triumph
ako njena djeca nisu sretna?
if her children are not happy?
To je nemoguće.
It's impossible.
Ja ne mogu biti sretna ako moje kćerke nisu sretne.
I cannot be happy if my daughters are not happy.
A pomislite tek nebeska majka.
And just try to imagine then our Heavenly Mother.
Samo pođite sa njom.
Just go with her.
Samo polako hodajte uz nju.
Just slowly walk with her.
I ne bojte se.
And do not be
U
afraid.
njenoj blizini je sigurno.
In her nearness you are safe.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ćemo završiti zdravlje.
We'll finish with one Hail Mary.
I imamo čast da imamo svećenike.
And as we're honored to have priests with us,
Možemo ga zamoliti za
we
blagoslov.
could kindly ask them for blessing. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou amongst women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen.
Kraljice